Introduction: A shapeshifter in the shadows. Extended. In the deserts of the American Southwest, a legend whispers through the night wind. A creature older than the white man's history on this land. Older than the cowboy tale is. Older than the borders drawn on maps. They call it the Skinwalker, a being that wears the stolen flesh of animals, and sometimes humans. A shapeshifter, a witch, a predator prowls the vast, lonely mesas of Navajo land, its footsteps hidden in sand and silence. Coyotes that walk upright. Owls that speak in human voices. Wolves taller than any natural beast. Behind every sighting lies a chilling truth. The Skinwalker is not just a monster of flesh. It is said to be born from dark ritual, from forbidden practices that warp the soul. To see one is dangerous. To speak of one is forbidden. And to meet one may be the last thing you ever do. So the question is, what exactly is the Skinwalker? A myth of Navajo folklore? Or a predator that still roams the deserts at night? Chapter 1. The origins of the curse. The Skinwalker legend comes from the Dine, or Navajo people, whose oral traditions have passed through centuries. Unlike Western werewolves, Skinwalkers are not cursed by chance. They are made by choice. According to Navajo tradition, a Skinwalker is a witch who commits the darkest of taboos. To become one, they must break cultural laws in the most horrific way possible, often by taking the life of a close family member. This ultimate betrayal severs their humanity, granting them unnatural powers. From that moment on, they gain the ability to transform into animals at will. Coyotes, owls, foxes, wolves, or even other humans. They wear the hides of these creatures to assume their form. But while they may look like animals, they are never quite right. Their movements twisted, their eyes burning with intelligence that shouldn't be there. To the Navajo, Skinwalkers are not legends told for fun. They are feared, hated, and rarely spoken about, for even saying their name is believed to attract their attention. Chapter 2. Sightings and encounters. Across the deserts of Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah, stories of encounters with Skinwalkers are told in hushed voices. A man driving late at night spots a coyote in his headlights, but as it runs alongside his truck, it suddenly stands upright, keeping pace at 50 miles per hour before vanishing into the dark. Families living on the edge of reservations tell of voices outside their windows at night. Sometimes it's a child crying. Sometimes it's a relative calling their name. But when they open the door, there's nothing there. Livestock are found mutilated, their carcasses twisted in ways no predator could manage. Dogs growl at empty space, and travelers report strange figures on lonely roads, humanoid shapes, with the head of an animal and eyes that glow with unnatural light. Each story sounds impossible, but together they paint the portrait of a predator that is always watching, always waiting. Chapter 3. Skinwalker Ranch. Perhaps the most infamous location tied to the legend is Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, a 500-acre property that has become ground zero for paranormal activity. In the 1990s, the Sherman family purchased the ranch, only to experience events that defy explanation. They reported cattle being mutilated with surgical precision, gigantic wolf-like creatures that shrugged off bullets, strange lights hovering in the sky, poltergeist-like activity inside their home. Frightened and desperate, the family sold the ranch to a millionaire who funded scientific investigations. Even researchers claimed to witness phenomena: glowing orbs, unexplained radiation, creatures peering through windows. Today, Skinwalker Ranch is considered one of the most haunted and mysterious places in America, with a legend of the Skinwalker collides with UFO sightings, cryptids, and the unexplained. Chapter 4. The psychological fear. What makes Skinwalkers truly terrifying isn't just the unnatural ability to change their form. It's the psychological warfare they are said to wage against the human mind. Many who claim to have encountered them describe a chilling common thread, a sense of being watched long before they ever see anything, a presence in the shadows, an unshakable feeling that eyes are fixed on you, no matter how empty the night seems. It is not just fear, it is dread so heavy it feels alive, crawling into the mind and settling there. The legends go further, describing powers that reach into the most vulnerable corners of the mind. It is said Skinwalkers can plant thoughts that don't belong to you, twist your perception, or force vivid hallucinations that blur the line between reality and nightmare. Some stories claim that people have been driven into madness simply by being stalked, not killed, but broken. Then there is the voice. Survivors describe hearing their own names whispered in the darkness, not by strangers, but in the familiar tone of a loved one. A brother calling from the woods, a mother pleading for help, a child crying in the distance. The sound is so perfect, so convincing, that it lures people toward the unknown, and often straight into the waiting grasp of something inhuman. And perhaps the most chilling part of all, Skinwalkers are said to be nearly impossible to kill. Ordinary weapons are useless. Bullets, blades, fire. None of these can guarantee safety. According to Navajo tradition, only precise and dangerous ceremonial rituals performed by skilled medicine men can sever the Skinwalker's power. Even then, the ritual must be flawless, and the risk to the healer is immense. Skinwalker doesn't just threaten the body. It attacks the mind, the spirit, and the very core of what makes us feel safe. It leaves its victims questioning what is real, what is imagined, and whether they were ever truly alone in the dark. Outgrow the legend that lives the Skinwalker is more than a monster from old stories. To the Navajo, it is a warning etched into tradition, a reminder of balance, of what happens when the sacred laws are broken and the natural order is twisted by greed, envy, and the hunger for forbidden's power. It embodies the darkest possibility of the human spirit, that even those meant to heal can choose to corrupt. But beyond the boundaries of the reservation, the legend has escaped into the wider world. It has leapt from campfires and sacred stories into whispered rumors, radio talk shows, and chilling documentaries. From the infamous Skinwalker Ranch, with its endless reports of shapeshifters, lights, and unexplainable phenomena, to lonely desert highways where travelers swear they've seen creatures darting on all fours, faster than any animal should move. Again and again, people tell the same story, encounters that scar the memory, that leave behind more questions than answers, and a fear that lingers long after the night has passed. And still, the reports continue. So what is the truth? Perhaps the truth lies in the gray space between myth and reality, where folklore and experience lead into one another. One warning has remained unchanged across generations, across cultures, and across every retelling. If you ever find yourself in the silent deserts of the American Southwest and you hear your name whispered in the dark, not answer, do not look, do not follow, because once the Skinwalker knows you, once it has chosen you, it may never let you go.